So I'm here in Mabaruma, as I've said, and this is an area called Tract A. One of the things that I'm looking at on the ground here is how government is providing housing here in Mabaruma. What is the housing sector looking like? And here is one of the areas that they've been boasting. Tract A, Mabaruma. I'm sitting on one of the unfinished culverts here. I can discern there's a roadway, this dirt patch that is coming in here. I can discern there are some unfinished culverts. This is just, as it is here, would just be throwing water off of the hillside here into this area beneath us here. So that is one of the things we're looking at. Now, as we've been saying, housing is not just an allocation. It's another culvert on this side here. Housing is not just an allocation. Housing has to be an allocation that is in very short order, gets a title, and in very short order, that housing, that allocation has water. If you're going to construct, you need water. You need a water source. If you're going to construct, if you're going to construct and live, you need a water, potable water. You need electricity. Now, I don't see any utility poles going down here. I don't see any. Suffice you have this dirt patch that you can see all along here. You can see culverts like this one here behind me. There isn't much here, but we told that titles were given out for some allocations here in Mabaruma, and we are yet in this area here called Tract A in Mabaruma, trying to get a sense of what really and truly is happening in the housing sector. Now, one of the things that we have already heard is that those persons who have gotten allocations are closely aligned to the government. There's a little steep incline. It's a little steep incline there. But what we're already hearing, those persons are closely aligned to the government. All right, so we're still on location here in Mabaruma. This is Tract A. It's an area that they've designated for housing. But what they are telling us on paper, now that we've come specifically to check on these projects for ourselves, they leave a lot to be desired. I just want to take a walk with you in this area. Like I've said, we can see where there's some excavation that has happened. There's some leveling of the land here. There's some perhaps demarcation where road is going. But outside of that, there isn't much to show. There is no active work that is happening here. We just passed this excavator, high mac, whatever you call it, here that is just idle. There's nobody on site here. You're going to see another one shortly. But this is an area, like I said, they have designated for housing. And outside of that, outside of very minimal infrastructure in terms of this is dirt. This is dirt road. You have that I showed you earlier on. Some of the culverts are going in. You need drains, you need proper drainage in an area where you're going to have housing, but you also need water. And there is no visible water mains going in, big or small, in this area here. Big or small. This is another one of those vehicles I was telling you about we're passing. There's nobody here. Right? There's nobody. Both of them, there are two of them here, and both of them are idle. But as I was saying, as you go through this area here, there is no infrastructure like for water. There is no posts up for electricity, for instance, coming into this area. And those are some of the things that must be part of housing. Folks, we didn't come here for a vacation. We came to keep government accountable. And this is how we do it. The monies that are allocated, billions of dollars for housing in this country, it is not meeting the people who need it most. Now, this is an area that should have already been up and running. But that is not the case. Right? That is not the case. Look, 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 look behind me here. You got some sand, you got some stones here. All of it is idle. What we call jumbie birds, carrion crow, take over this area here. That's how dead the project is at the back here. Nothing is happening here. And this is housing. And this is replicated so many times in this country. But unless you come on the ground for yourself and you survey what is happening, them guys selling you pig in bag. In Georgetown, they're selling you pig in bag. And the further out you come from the national capital, now we are in region 1 here. We're in Mabaruma. The further out you come to places like this, there's more corruption. Right? There's some indentation here at the side of the road. Maybe they want to put drains here. I don't know. Maybe somebody come overnight and thief out the dirt from here. I don't know. On both sides. On both sides. Now, this is one of the only ones we've seen. Look, you got some PVC pipe here. And that's what? 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet of PVC pipe. We saw a smaller piece around that side, but this is as much as we can see here. Let me go down in here. Look, there's a demarcation here. What does this mean? This piece of steel right here. Is this road? Is there demarcating property here? I don't know. But this is Tract A. This is Tract A, Mabaruma. We are in here, and this is what is happening. Beautiful Mabaruma, but they're not treating the people of Mabaruma with the respect that they deserve. And that's upsetting. That is very, very upsetting. So this is Tract A. We're going to come back here a little later on and tell you guys some other things, but my God, look, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening here. Absolutely nothing. It's an inactive site. So there are no demarcation. There's no staff here to question, to ask anything. Taxpayers' money. Wasting. All right. We're going to keep you guys posted with more.